a young professional, nervously preparing for her big presentation. She spent months perfecting every detail, haunted by the fear of making a single mistake. On the day of her presentation, she's running late and spots a street artist creating a vibrant, imperfect mural. Despite its flaws, the mural is full of life and authenticity. This moment sparks an epiphany for Sarah. She realizes that the true value of her work isn't in achieving perfection, but in the effort and passion she puts into it. This summary is at the heart of The Perfection Trap by Thomas Curran. The book shows how our pursuit of perfection can lead to stress and dissatisfaction, and how embracing good enough can lead to a more fulfilling life. Part 1. The Rise of Perfectionism. Understanding the modern obsession. Let's start with the root of the issue, the rise of perfectionism. Thomas Curran opens The Perfection Trap by tracing how perfectionism has evolved into a pervasive force in our lives. He explains that perfectionism isn't just a personal trait, but a societal trend fueled by social media, competitive cultures, and unrealistic standards. Curran defines perfectionism as a relentless pursuit of flawlessness, driven by high personal standards and critical self-evaluations. He breaks it down into 3 types. Self-oriented perfectionism, where individuals set excessively high standards for themselves. Socially prescribed perfectionism, where people feel pressure to meet others' expectations. And other-oriented perfectionism, where individuals impose high standards on others. Curran illustrates how these forms of perfectionism have been amplified in the modern era, leading to increased anxiety and stress. Social media platforms, with their curated highlights and filtered realities, play a significant role in perpetuating unrealistic standards and comparison. Part 2. The Psychological Impact. How perfectionism affects us. Curran delves into the psychological toll of perfectionism. He describes how the pursuit of perfection can lead to chronic stress, burnout, and mental health issues. Perfectionists are often caught in a cycle of constant striving and self-criticism, which undermines their well-being. Curran explores the connection between perfectionism and common psychological problems such as anxiety, depression, and eating disorders. He presents research showing that perfectionists are more likely to experience higher levels of stress and dissatisfaction with their achievements. The pressure to meet impossibly high standards creates a perpetual sense of failure and inadequacy. He also discusses how perfectionism can hinder creativity and productivity, as the fear of making mistakes or not meeting exacting standards can lead to procrastination and avoidance. Part 3. The Perfectionism Trap. How we get stuck. Next, Curran examines the perfectionism trap, the cycle that keeps individuals trapped in a never-ending quest for perfection. He explains how the constant pursuit of perfection creates a feedback loop of setting higher standards, experiencing stress, and feeling inadequate. Curran highlights the role of societal expectations and cultural norms in reinforcing perfectionism. He describes how industries such as education and professional environments often promote perfectionistic values, further entrenching individuals in this trap. He uses real-life examples and case studies to illustrate how people from various walks of life, students, professionals, and even celebrities, find themselves ensnared by the relentless drive for perfection. This section helps listeners understand the pervasive nature of perfectionism and its impact on different aspects of life. Part 4. Embracing Good Enough. A Path to Well-Being. Turning the page to a more hopeful note, Curran introduces the concept of good enough as a counter to perfectionism. He argues that embracing good enough can lead to greater satisfaction, creativity, and overall well-being. Curran offers practical strategies for shifting away from perfectionism. Set realistic goals. Instead of aiming for flawless outcomes, set achievable and realistic goals that allow for growth and learning. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Recognize that making mistakes is part of being human. Focus on effort and progress. Celebrate the effort you put in and the progress you make, rather than fixating solely on the end result. Redefine success. Change your definition of success from achieving perfection to making meaningful contributions and finding satisfaction in your efforts. Curran emphasizes that by adopting these practices, individuals can break free from the perfectionism trap and embrace a more balanced, fulfilling approach to life. Part 5. Building a good enough culture, shifting societal norms. Curran discusses how we can shift societal norms to support a good enough culture. He argues that systemic changes are needed to reduce the pressure for perfection that pervades our institutions. Curran suggests that educational systems, workplaces, and media should promote values that emphasize effort, growth, and well-being over unrealistic standards of perfection. He calls for a cultural shift that values authenticity and resilience over flawlessness. He provides examples of organizations and movements that are already embracing these values, illustrating how cultural change can support individuals in breaking free from perfectionistic pressures. Part 6. How to apply the book's lessons. Let's look at some practical takeaways from The Perfection Trap that you can apply in your own life. Identify your perfectionistic triggers. Recognize situations or areas of life where you feel compelled to be perfect and evaluate whether these standards are realistic or helpful. Adopt a growth mindset. Embrace challenges as opportunities for learning and growth rather than as tests of your worth. Seek support. Don't hesitate to reach out for help if you're struggling with perfectionism. Therapy, support groups, and conversations with trusted friends can provide valuable perspectives and support. By integrating these strategies into your daily life, you can start to move away from the trap of perfectionism and towards a more fulfilling and balanced approach to achieving your goals. We hope this summary has provided you with valuable insights into overcoming perfectionism and embracing a healthier, more balanced approach to life. If you found this summary helpful, please like and subscribe for more.